Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, November 13th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. Man's chief delusion is his conviction, that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. All that befalls a man, all that is done by him, all that comes from him, happens as a result of his state of consciousness. A man's consciousness is all that he thinks and desires and loves, all that he believes is true and that consents to. This is why a change of consciousness is necessary before you can change your outer world. Neville Goddard. Have you ever wondered, I'm sure many of us have, why one person walking down the dark alley at night will get mugged while the previous person goes by untouched? Why is that? We're kind of like this, it's kind of super electromagnet. And everything that we're thinking is being energy moved into form and created into reality. Isn't, when you understand that everything we think is generating a form. Something is being created by that. We are always sending out a specific frequency of energy. And the frequency of energy that we send out, energy, our bodies, mind, tend to vibrate at will, attract or repel the thing that we currently desire. It's like an expansive, inspirational, and positive, and it magnetizes similar vibrational experiences back to us, such as amazing opportunities, positive-minded people, prosperous situations. And on the other hand, when we are sending out the energy of which is happening right now to people, of doubt, frustration, or fear, we tend to magnetize very difficult and challenging experiences that make us suffer endlessly. You ever talked, maybe it might have been yourself, have you ever felt like you can't figure out why this stuff, you ever say to yourself, why does this stuff keep happening to me? It's as if we believe that, we've been trained to believe that, well, something out there is causing it. You're not causing it, it's just your bad luck. You're just unfortunate enough that this is happening to you. And why does it keep happening to me? Well, I don't understand why this keeps happening to me. It's because we're doing it. We are doing everything that we believe is out there coming at us, that there's some form of energy that's creating this for us because we have a dark cloud or we have this happening. And a lot of people are basically tricked into believing that. This all boils down to our ability to identify that it is us without being angry. I mean, you're in gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness with yourself. So you're not angry about it. You start to realize it is I, it is me. I'm the one doing this. Why the heck would I do that? Why would I bring in all of this suffering and everything continuously? Why is that happening? The ego mind. It's the ego mind. So when we set it out when we're doubtful, frustrated, we have some fears, we tend to magnetize those very things that make us suffer endlessly. Suffering to the various degrees. We were light, average, sometimes heavy duty. So what do we do? How do we change that? Well, it's becoming aware of it. In order to manifest what our heart is yearning for in this life, simply and consistently emit a high positive vibration. That sounds pretty easy, doesn't it? How am I supposed to just emit a easy, wonderful positive vibration and it'll all change for you. You try to tell that to somebody that's going through some severe trauma in their lives. That you think that's going to go over really well? Maybe not. So again, a person, they go into focusing on their breath, and this the belief that we all are challenged with. It's believing that we're that powerful. When we don't believe we're that powerful, guess what? We aren't. And when we believe that we just don't have the ability to change things on a blink of the eye for ourselves in this life, then we continue to manifest and create all the things that we don't like, that we don't care to have in our lives. And then, the ego mind does not want any of us to discover this. So it will just consistently push us into a future that doesn't exist and push us in the past. That's where it keeps us, past or future, not the now. It doesn't care to have us in the now. So we begin to realize that, and I think that a lot of people on this planet are starting to understand that it isn't a joke, that it's not something made up, that we can, each of us, literally create any energy into form, move it into form, create it into reality, and experience it. And the more that we practice, the more that we start to understand that simple application with ourselves, then we're challenged with what? The mind and the ego, trying to convince you. That's silly. You're not powerful. You can't do that. That's a fantasy. What are you talking about? Life is supposed to be this way. It's supposed to be hard and difficult at times. It's supposed to be super challenging. It's supposed to be gut-wrenching and disappointing. It's supposed to be those things. You're supposed to struggle through life. That's what they want you to believe. But we know differently, is that when we focus on the breath, and we begin to realize that the only thing stops what we desire, each of us, for ourselves, or for anybody for that matter, is ourselves. That's who's stopping us. You ever been so close to something, right? So near to something that you could taste it, you could tell that it was right there in your hands, right? And then, mysteriously, it just dissolves away. Because once we have even a smidgen of doubt in ourselves and our abilities, it goes away. When you challenge the fact that it is real, that your power is real, that you are able to do anything you desire. When you challenge that, when the ego mind comes in and says, no, you're not this power. It's out there. And that doubt comes in. It is our lack of trust in ourselves. It's a lack of faith in ourselves. And that's what stops the universe's continuous flow of abundance. That's what happens. And abundance is good health, well-being, happiness and joy, discovering that within ourselves. Others, desiring others to be happy and joyful, being in deep gratitude 24/7. These are all, they're kind of like primers. They help us move into a higher frequency and not leave it. Because once we get into the mode of motion of the higher frequency, then everything starts to materialize effortlessly. When you think about this, that your surroundings you've created, and it's very difficult for people to comprehend this, But in a holographic universe, it's real easy to do once you understand what it is you desire. A lot of us desire things that we know, well, I would like to have that, and so you get it. And just like when we were kids, we would get a toy or something, and we'd be all excited about it, and then you'd play with it, and then after a while, you wouldn't pay much attention to it. Because as children, we weren't taught to be in deep gratitude, were we? Who taught us to do that? Nobody. To be in deep gratitude. We were always wanting, ego minds, not knowing that, but we always wanted things as children, because you do. As children, we don't think about anything else but having, because we believe that this world is free, that you can have anything you want. And guess what? That's the truth. That right there is the truth. You can have anything you want. It's always been there. It's just that we as a civilization have been trained so much into believing, well, no, you can't do that. That's not possible. And yet, isn't it, when you come across people that are able to do that, isn't it amazing how you respond to it? How are they able to do that? I don't understand that. That's really strange. I've tried that, and it never worked for me. This is why the way things have been with this planet, with this civilization, is the reason why it is. Because we have been so chided and pushed and literally forced into believing things that are lies about ourselves. And it's all about discovery. We knew this at one time. We knew it inside and out. We lost it. Now we've come full circle to find it again. And it's up to us. It's not up to anybody else. It's up to you. It's up to you to decide, without all of the interference from the ego mind, that I am powerful. I am absolutely magnificent. I'm a supreme powerful being. I am a supreme manifester. I always have been. I always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. This isn't ego. See, this is where you understand that it comes from the heart when you're doing this type of a mantra affirmation. Because the vibrational frequency of your voice at a high level attracts those energies instead of the lower basement energies where we just kind of slip by on it most of the time. You can be wealthy, but unhealthy. You can be healthy, but poor. You see how it works? Do you ever think that there is a balance there where you could be healthy and wealthy? Wealthy and healthy? It's the only power in the universe is you can do that. You can intend it. You cannot attach to it. You have no expectations for the outcome. You just know that it will be. You're not using your will either. You're not forcing anything. You just know it'll be. You feel it deep within your heart. The thing is that with all of us in this life, we all have this tendency, not all the time, for the most part, but we all have this tendency to slip into that because it sounds strange, but it's so comfortable for us because we've been doing it so long. There is no struggle when you raise that vibrational frequency. There isn't. You don't struggle. You're challenged because you're challenged by what you desire. You start realizing, do I really want this? And there's where we experience many things. If you manifest something that you go, why did I want this? Why did I ask for this? And it could be very disruptive. You manifest a relationship with someone, right? And yet you didn't know that they had these areas that really didn't set right with you, and you're sitting there going, how did I get myself in this mess? You ever done that? Because you manifested it. You created it. Remember, where there's good, there's bad. Where there's bad, there's good. It's a balance. Just like I've been saying, you request something, and you have faith that you have no doubt that you will be able to manifest that. You'll be able to bring it into form and experience it. You have no doubt at all. You have total super trust in the universe, yourself, and you have no attachment or expectation. And it happens. It comes in. But what you didn't really think about was, or feel about, what comes with it? What are the things that come with it? Am I prepared and accepting of the parts that come with it? It may not be that fun. You inherit a bunch of money, or you manifest a bunch of money, and you've never had a bunch of money. And all of a sudden you have a bunch of money, and then you start realizing, holy cow, did I make a mistake? I can't believe all the responsibilities I have here facing me about this bunch of money. See? That's how we start to realize I must be finite and absolutely perfect on my request design of what I'm asking for. Okay? And that's why we concentrate on one thing at a time. Because of that. So we're aware that what we request from the universe comes to us, but a lot of us miss that one part of that gray area of the responsibilities and the things that they're involved with manifesting that into reality. Do we get good at it? We used to be, many, many moons ago. We used to be really good at it, so we were so finite that we were able to just almost basically instantaneously create something out of the energy field, bring it into reality, manifest it. And it was like an everyday occurrence. Now, isn't it interesting? Because an everyday occurrence is happening with all of us because we are creating our lives every step of the way. No one's creating our lives for us. We are. You decide to go down a different road, you get in an accident. That was your decision, wasn't it? For some reason, you were drawn to do that. How is that? You know, something might be wrong with your vehicle, and you go, oh, it's nothing. I just don't have time to get it taken care of. And your vehicle breaks down. And what do you say to yourself? Why didn't I follow what I was thinking? I should have gotten this into the shop and had it fixed. These are all things that we see. We're so distracted from the external world, with the external world, the material, physical world, that we don't realize that we're the ones in charge. We're the masters. But we're masters who have somehow attracted amnesia. We don't remember that we were masters. We don't remember that we can manifest these things. So we're always questioning ourselves. Have you ever questioned yourself? Am I making the right decision? Is this going to come out okay? Is everybody going to be happy with it? Those are all doubts. Fears. Have you ever felt fearful of being wealthy, knowing the ramifications with it? Have you? I think we all have, to certain degrees, to certain extents. Have you ever been happy about life, but then feared life? Feared living? Or feared being happy? You know, oh boy, it would really be great if I was happy a lot more. And then we fear to be happy. We fear these are all things that we create for ourselves. And it cannot be said enough that we are like these. I wouldn't call us a machine. I would call us a perpetual field of energy that is connected to all energy that enables us to literally create anything we desire. If you're part of the energy, if you're part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, you may want to ask yourself, you may want to ponder and meditate on this. I am part of the universe, so therefore I am the universe. And this isn't some far-out thought process. This is a reality. We are supreme reality, all of us are. We are the only thing that is real. And we begin to realize, some of us are starting to realize that through the heart-mind, that we just move energy by our thoughts. We move it, we form it. Boy, wouldn't it be nice if that ridge over there had a lot more trees or was greener? And over time, most of us wouldn't notice it. But over time, we start noticing things, that ridge is getting greener. More rain has come. Looks like there's more trees growing there. But we don't acknowledge that. We could do that in a passing. You could be driving by someplace in your area and say that to yourself. Boy, that'd be really nice. And you're saying it through your heart mind, but you just don't identify it. And you just keep going on, no attachment, no expectations. Now, sometimes you'll drive by that area and you will start noticing changes in that ridge. This is really exciting for all of us. It's been tried to be impressed over and over again on the civilization, but it kind of fades out. People get too caught up in the external reality and the physical world, so they get too caught up in it. And it fades out, fades away. Oh, I'm not going to try it. I've tried that. I've read all the books, gone to seminars, listened to all this stuff, and it just doesn't work for me. And it doesn't work for you. You know why? Because you believe it doesn't work for you, so it won't work for you. That's how simple it is. You manifested something else by not even knowing it. And then people say, well, then why is it when I'm saying that's not going to work, no way in heck is that ever going to be possible? And then it is. Why is that? Because the one who is creating it. You ever notice this? You're talking with someone and they're saying, well, I'm doing, that won't work. That's not going to work. No way it's going to work. And then they just kind of look at you and say, okay, well, we'll see. And then the next thing you know, they take you and they show you, this is what you thought wouldn't work. It's working wonderfully. It's because their intent, right, was stronger than your intent. Their intent to create something was stronger than your intent to not create something, or to uncreate. Sooner or later, each one of us will come face to face with ourselves, the gods that we are, and begin to realize that all this is not a fantasy, that we create the reality every step of the way for ourselves. We're these omnipotently powerful beings. And once we focus on whatever it is we desire, it will come into reality. It will be generated. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's an automatic. The only thing that stops us is ourselves. The only thing that stops our abundance is ourselves. Can you imagine? You've got all the abundance that you could ever imagine coming to you 24/7 because you're part of it. You're not outside of it. It's not something that's there and you're here. It is you. And so it's flowing through you all the time. The only difference is that why we don't experience the things that we desire most of the time? It's because our ego mind, literally, we block that flow of abundance. We block it. It doesn't come in. It's just kind of like a shield, right? And it comes in and it bounces off the shield and it goes somewhere else. And we do that. And this is where I'm always saying, be as gentle, kind, and generous with yourself and humble as possible. Live in the moment. Exist in the moment. concentrate and focus on deep eternal gratitude 24/7. Watch what happens. When you're able to do that, a lot of people can't. They're taken off here or there. Something happens, they get irritated, or there's some challenge, and they can't do it. They can't. They're pulled off of it. But to always remind yourself in gratitude what you're grateful for. It's absolutely paramount. It is one of the major primers to our path and literally being able to generate anything we desire in this existence. And when you're going through things, and you might be around people that are irritated, have you ever been lately? You're around someone and you're in a different field, right? A different energy, you're in a higher energy, more euphoric. And they're complaining and bitching and moaning and, getting out irritated and stuff about this. And you're looking and you're saying, man, this is really reinforcing where I'm at right now. Because they're showing me how I don't care to be. They're reinforcing my gratitude. So I'm deeply grateful that they've come in and they're doing this because it's reinforcing the whole point of staying in the highest of the highest high of deep eternal gratitude. And you really will get into the habit of momentarily stepping out of your day and saying to yourself, I am deeply grateful for this very moment. And nothing could be going on, nothing in particular, but you would be able to sit there and say that and feel it. It's huge. It's absolutely huge for us to do that. Well, I'm not going to be, I'm going to be grateful that I broke my ankle or that I've got this going on. I'm supposed to be grateful. That's stupid to be grateful for that. But that's the point. Staying in gratitude changes everything. You're grateful for every breath you take. You're grateful for every step you take. You're grateful to have eyes to see. And if you don't have eyes to see, you're grateful that you had eyes to see. The reason that we get so lackadaisical and so lazy is because we're taught that life is a struggle. Isn't that amazing? And throughout the eons, it's the opposite. You're a powerful, omnipotently powerful being. You can move energy into form. You can create it in reality at the drop of a hat. But yet, you choose not to, and you choose to believe the ego mind. That's why so many of us suffer. We attach ourselves. We have attachments and we have expectations. But it's not like you're giving everything up. You're not sitting there saying, I expect this to be this way, and this way when it happens. And I want it to happen, and it's going to happen on this day. And when we do that, right, we're attached. And then when it doesn't happen the way we want it, what do? We suffer. We're disappointed. We're irritated. Whatever it may be. And eventually, everybody on this planet will come full circle and start realizing and bringing back into understanding that we are omnipotently powerful, highly supreme manifesting beings. We always have been, we always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Love says that we deserve even more love, especially when we don't feel worthy of it. It invites us to surrender all of our resistance and remember how perfect, sacred, and utterly lovable we all truly are. Love feels all of your pain with you, holding your hand through your life's most panicked moments and never letting go. Love honors your deepest wounds, helping you to see how they are your greatest teachers. It is absolute empathy, sympathy, and has the most profound compassion possible for each and every one of us. Love breaks down the walls of what we think is not possible It inspires us to step into our life mission and highest potentiality. Love is the flame that ignites the great bonfire within us, needed to burn through our limiting beliefs so we can manifest the most amazing life imaginable. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. You could go through your day completely relaxed. You can do things, take care of things, manifest things, and be relaxed the whole time. It isn't for a lot of us, it isn't that easy, but once we start practicing it, it does become much easier. We know that these bodies are not ours. In other words, they're not us. We are housed in them so that we can experience physical form, but we aren't them. We are the God within, however you want to say it to yourself, the God force, the God source, the supreme being. And we are not the name, not the character, not the personality. We're the God. So when we want to relax these bodies, doesn't it make sense that the only way would be us to be the masters of the body? And when you do relax the body, a lot of the times it isn't, you don't consciously identify it, that you're the one relaxing the body, the God that you are. And so the body relaxes. And we've all been there. It's not, I don't believe that we really go, oh, I've just relaxed my body. We just do. Many times I've used the hammock. You know, the trees, the breeze. You're not totally asleep, but you're not totally awake. And you don't have a care in the world. You don't have any issues. You're not thinking. Have you ever been there? You're not thinking. You're not worried. You're not stressing. The ego mind is in the back seat. You're just being. You're just being. And whenever we choose to relax these bodies, they will relax. Because you don't do it forcibly and angrily or stressfully. You do it with ease, with deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace, that you actually are in a body that you can relax. And when that happens, and you focus on the breath, the divine positive energy, our breath, it is magnificent. It keeps these bodies operating so that we can experience this life, so we can experience physical form. And the interesting thing is that we all know that our soul powers the body in order for it to do that. So you cannot argue from the fact, through the ego mind's perspective, that we're not the master, that there's some omnipotent force out there that's the master. And that's not true. We are the masters. We are the masters of everything, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. We attract every single thing that really creates our lives. We create our destinies. A lot of the times we aren't even consciously aware that we're creating our destinies. So relaxing this body is the first step to being within. Focusing on the breath. Easy breath in through the nose, easy breath out through the mouth. And believe it or not, when you go into this, eventually you will start seeing with your eyes closed, and then eventually not. You will see splashes of the most phenomenal colors of light. Deep purple, colors that you wouldn't normally see on this planet. You would also see that you would have a field, kind of kind of an energy that surrounds you, a golden shimmering type. But when you look from the inside out, it's clear. But you feel this golden shimmering field of energy. And it is the God that you are that is that energy all around you, inside you, above you and below you. It is constant. You begin to see it, feel it. When we start understanding that we are the God in the body and that we're the master of the body and that this body relaxes and we literally stop entertaining the mind and the ego and we're focused on the breath and we move into the now through the breath, and all those 60,000 plus thoughts running by us that we generate every day, and the tens of millions of thoughts that are programs that aren't ours that float by every day like clouds in the sky, they don't affect us because we don't grab onto them. The point is to be at ease 24/7, to be at total ease. These bodies would be in perfect form when we are able to do that always. And it's almost, you're like looking at the earth, you're looking at the physical world, the physical reality of things, right, that you created, and you're not connected to it. You're not in it. You can experience it when you choose, but you're not of it. You're not of this world. And we choose to participate when we participate. It doesn't always come out great for us because we just aren't aware that every step of the way we're creating. You could picture yourself on your path in this life. As you look down, there's no path. But you'll notice that every step you take, you're creating the path. Materials are coming together to form a firm foundation so that you can continue to walk unobstructed on that path. It's when we interrupt ourselves and that path stops, and then we have to jump through holes and all kinds of things until we realize that we don't have to do any of that. We can create a smooth path throughout this life. An easy, literally easy. Oh, life isn't easy. Life is always meant to challenge you, stress you, push you. You know why? Because you're the one doing it. That's why a lot of the things that we experience, why these bodies are so tense all the time, is that we experience things that subconsciously we create. And we say, I didn't create that. There's no way I'd create that for myself. Really? Okay. Well, if you're influenced by the ego mind, you are going to create it. So relaxing the body is just bliss. Floating through life, but in command. Now, when we do that, we know that we can see and feel everything in these bodies. And we see these 7 wheels of light. Wheel, chakra wheel. And there's 7 of them from the tailbone top of the head. What the heck are they? They're spiritual etheric energy. So you can't pick them up. And they're conduits for us, the God, which is spiritual etheric energy, flows through them. Makes sense, doesn't it? By flowing through them, we know everything about these bodies, every emotion, every energy, period. All the way down to the quantum quark, every cell, mitochondria, everything. But since we are so distracted, and we've got a case of amnesia, that we don't know that we are these powerful supreme beings within these bodies, then we struggle. You know, and a lot of things, when we manifest things knowingly, along with it comes some challenge. So the things that we deem as good also come with challenges. But they're not bad challenges. They're challenges so that we can continue to experience. I don't think any of us, when we are fully awake again, will want a life, desire to manifest a life for us, for ourselves, where there's no challenge, where it's just easy peasy continuously forever and ever. That's not what we're about. We're about experiencing. So we create things, but we knowingly create things. And that time's coming. And it's starting to appear with some of us. The ego would say, well, you're going to go around and tell people that you created that. No, you will know through the heart mind, I created that. I created it because I desired it. And then some of the people that are still in amnesia will ask you, how did you do that? Where did that come from? And you just say, I desired it, and it was there. You've experienced it, but we take it for granted. You're going into a grocery store, right? And there's a lot of parking, right? This is good. And you don't know it, but you're generating, moving energy into form that you would like a parking space closer to the door. And they're all packed in. All of a sudden, a car pulls out. Do you think that's happenstance? No. It's you. Or you go to the store and you say to yourself, you know, I would like that item to be available. I understand that it was basically supposed to be sold out, but I would like it to be available, just one for me. And guess what? There's just one for you. And then you say to yourself, without really realizing it, boy, I was sure lucky to get that. It was the last one on the shelf. That's how it works. So we are the power of healing. We're also the power of manifesting. We are great grand masters of it all. And we forgot. And now we're coming again. And we're starting to remember. Talk about a glorious time to be in existence in these bodies as the gods we are. It's off the charts. Now, a lot of us have memories. We all have memories, don't we? They spark, we reminisce. It could be a Christmas ornament that we got 20 years ago. And then all of these memories flood in. Some of them might not be too great. And then other things that we reminisce about. And it's fun to enjoy. Nostalgia, sentimental. Those are all exciting, wonderful things that we experience. But we don't sit there and hang with it, day after day, month after month, year after year. We visit it and we move on. And we can always visit them because they're there in our subconscious mind library. Now you could be standing with 3 circles, beautiful golden white shimmering circles. You can actually see the energy moving from them and around them. And you have one on the left, one in the center, one on the right. One on the left is the past. It seems to be worn. The light isn't as bright, it's not as shimmering. The one on the right is the same way. That's the future. The one on the left's the past. One in the center, it looks brand new. And it's shimmering, and it's a golden, it's like a liquid light. And then when we go, oh, I'm going to go here in the past. And so a lot of people go in that past and they stay there. And that's not necessarily they know they stay there, but they stay there. They decorate their homes from the past. all kinds of things that keeps them in the past, wherever they look. And it could draw them into past lives where they start having things around them that bring them in a past life. And then, of course, they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, create that future from that past, and relive that past and that future. And this is why a lot of people will say to themselves, no matter what I do, I always end up here. Others, and we haven't done it like to the point where we live it in the now. We go into the future. We wander around the future and we say, because the future is not there, because we're creating it in the now. So we want, and we say, when am I going to have this? When is this going to finally happen? When am I going to be happy? When is all this struggle going to end? When is my body going to be healthy? And we do that because we don't know that we're the masters. We just don't know it. We think it's out there. This is why a lot of people go to psychics, want the psychics to tell them. Tarot reading, card reading. And am I finally going to have enough money to enjoy my life? When is that going to happen? When am I going to have a happy relationship? When is my body going to be healthy? And we ask that. I used to do readings years ago. And those are the main things that people ask. They want guidance. They want external authority to tell them what's going to happen. And unbeknownst to them, if they believe firmly enough in what that reader is saying, they'll manifest it. And they'll think it's due to the reader's foresight of looking into the future. The now is all we have. It's all we've ever had. It's where we can still the ego mind. We can still the subconscious mind. We don't visit them. We don't interact with them. They take a back seat. This is where the body relaxes. This is where the breath is the focus. This is the place of the God that we are. This is the doorway that allows us to open the door, embrace the God that we are. And this is where we practice to be always, inside, with the God that we are. Now we know the soul enters the body, right? We power the body, and then the lungs start functioning, everything starts functioning. And the breath is created. So we know that we are heaven, the soul, the God source, on earth in this body. We also know that we're consciously aware. Consciously aware, simply put, means that we are consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We're aware of this. We don't contemplate it. We know we are it. So that there are parts of the gods that we are that are in dormancy, asleep. They're not going to wake up tomorrow. It'll be up to them when they wake up. But they're all part of us. So they're with us in these meditations, but they don't participate because they hear nothing at all. So we move to the parts of the gods that we are that are consciously aware to a certain extent. And that's all light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. That's the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yeshua. Those are all the loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Wouldn't you like to hug them all? Wouldn't you like to hug all their souls? You can, You can. Just focus on the breath. Relax the body. Just be. Give them all a hug. A deep embrace that never ends. This is all the Offworlders, celestials, galactics. So all the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, and beneath Earth. It's all the light energy beings. Now, on this planet, we because of the eyes with the bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So a lot of these light energy beings, and they take different forms, shapes, and sizes, and colors, and configurations. We don't see them, okay? But there is a group that we do, in some ways, see and interact with and experience with. These are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood. We definitely interact with these light energy beings. Mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now, the archangels, their civilization have vibrated at a different frequency than we do. Does that mean they're separate from us? Well, the physical, but not the God within them. Now we don't. It's not like, oh, there's Angel John down this, walking by with the wings. We don't. We meet with them. We interact with them. A lot of times we don't know it, but sometimes it dawns on us. That was an angel. That was a very different kind of interaction with that person. They weren't. It just didn't seem run of the mill. It was different. That was an angel. And it was. You have that little bit of bliss that bubbles up from within the God that you are. Now, they all have the same message, but they deliver it in so many different ways. But what it boils down to is that, isn't it magna glorious, stupendous, spectacular to be alive in these bodies, to taste, to touch, to laugh, to cry, to smile, to frown, to breathe, to see. It is when you really, really are just being and in the deepest gratitude that we have these bodies to experience this life that we are creating every single step of the way. Now, they hold a frequency so they can hold a large number in a small area, so they can surround us at any time. All we need to do, you want to ask them to surround, hey, guys, I'd really appreciate if you surround me right now. They will, tens of thousands, tens of millions, and you will experience bliss. The Ascended Masters, they have mastered physical, ascending into physical, experiencing physical, and then ascending out of physical. They hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical. We are mastering physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now the Offworlders, galactic celestials. Over 1,000 species travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, we're only familiar with a handful. It's the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. And this particular group have been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered, so to speak, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we are all one. We are all God, and we are all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God souls, from the kingdom of God, that we all are. It is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns to even come close to its brightness. And we are flooding this planet, head to toe, inside and out, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, right now. Never ending. We are blasting our divine perfection, the gods that we are, the light that we are, the love that we are, the gratitude that we are, over all things. In them, on them, above them, and below them. We begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It is everywhere. We are in it. We are of it. We are before it and after it. And it's like a big ballroom globe with all the little reflective mirrors, except this one is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. And the colors are indescribable. They're so beautiful. They are so vibrant. We haven't seen them on this planet yet. And so we're curious because we want to see where these reflective points are, and we zero in on these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. So we enter them. And we discover that all of us, all life, no matter how it's housed, is learning and teaching and learning. We're learning from everything. It is a cornucopia of experience. And when you really discover this, you'll understand there's no way you could ever be bored in this life. Ever. 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 Bug in the rug. Fly on the wall. Everything is an experience. Everything we are learning. Teaching. There is no mystery. The only mystery is what are we going to create next? We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued by the God force, love, light, energy deep within each and every one of us with a white fire armor. This armor is made up of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. It is nothing like the armor on this planet. It is way beyond. Nothing can penetrate it. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. No demon possession. No attachments. They can't. Our frequency is so high, they'll vaporize. They'll cease to exist. So they don't come around us. To know that Focus on your breath. Stay in the now. Be in the now. Just be. And you'll get your answers. But only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, revenge, greed, deception, dishonesty, worry, stress, fear, anxiety, hurry, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, allowing all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there are all kinds of possibilities. Demon possession, attachments, endless. Now, if you do decide to do this, you are immediately met with a double column of light. We created these columns to remind us all that the first part is the purple transmuting flame. We can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. The second part of the column is the violet ray. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods within these bodies are the sun, the sunlight, the sunrise and the sunset, the rain and the rainbows, the clouds and the sky, the trees and the forest and the soils, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains, the animals. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you view a sunset or a sunrise or a rainbow or a beautiful starry lit night sky or an ocean front, it is you. You're the God. You're divine perfection. You are that which never changes. You're the beauty, the majesty, the splendor, the gloriousness. It always has been, each and every one of us, the gods that we are. Always have been, will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it. If we're carrying physical form, why do we do this? Well, because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We all created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center, we see this oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this golden white bowl of light. It is surrounded by beautiful rings of multicolored lights. They almost seem endless. We notice that there's this big field. It's like a cloud, a mist, sparkling. It looks like there's like electric energy, and it absorbs into us, and it's like a warm embrace that never ends. And the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of purest purest, eternal love. And then we notice comes gratitude, peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance. If we feel this, you don't see it, you feel it. It's wonderful. It is us. It is a reflection of the gods that we all are. Now, at the top of this crystalline tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, as it's doing right now, as it's flooding, saturating, bathing us all, never to end. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It is us. We're the drops of this golden ocean. We hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops, drops are the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere, set center circle. We all created this sphere. Moving towards 4 years ago, it holds over 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. And every day, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, focused on this planet, Earth Gaia Arya, for its complete liberation and complete, pure cleansing of all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Forever, beyond, and ever. These meditations do not wane. They don't disappear. They do the opposite. They expand, they intensify and strengthen, and then they spread. The highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest energy that is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. Deep, eternal love. You can feel this on a continual basis. Love is the most amazing experience that we can have in this entire universe. It is the most gentle, exquisite feeling that is conscious, sacred, sweet, tender. It holds us so softly and with such a strength that it sends tingles all the way up our spines. Love is the most amazing experience. Love is the cure for every physical disease, every mental illness, and unbearable emotional wounding we may have. Love opens and relaxes every tension, immediately liberating us from all anxiety and worry. Invoking love into our bodies heals us instantly, awakening every cell to remember absolute protection. I'll join you in the meditation, return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Love is the doorway to eternal life. Love is a devotion itself, fully committed to expanding our hearts into our lives. Love is the deepening and softening of our breath that awakens the healing process of our soul. It is the permanent, authentic smile within us, forever giggling at our worries, knowing the deepest possible joy is the foundation of our existence. Love paves the path to the greatest orgasmic experience of our lives. It transforms ordinary sex into a sacred, healing experience. Love unites lovers to merge and melt into the one divine source. It is the most personal, intimate, and deeply sensual experience we can have. Love is the spiritual energy that brings the highest form of life into existence. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning, and we'll return here November 14th, 2021, Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation